Tying two old toothbrushes together, this will be very practical in the kitchen. Don't be too quick to throw away your old toothbrush, because today I'll show you 6 smart ways it can still make your life easier. Simple, practical, and surprisingly effective. These little tips might just change the way you see something you once thought was useless. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Tracy Tips. Let's go through each clever trick together, and make sure you don't miss tip number 5, because that's a unique secret almost no one ever shares. How often do you change your toothbrush at home? In my house, we have a habit of replacing ours every 3 months to avoid bacteria. But here's a little routine I've kept for years. Every time we switch to a new one, I set aside a small box just for the old toothbrushes. Instead of tossing them out, I save them because they've helped me so much with little chores around the house. Tip 1. Cleaning the bottom of cups and thermos bottles. Let's start with the first tip, and it's one I think many of you will find familiar. Over time, cups, mugs, and especially thermos bottles always seem to build up stubborn stains at the very bottom. It could be tea stains, coffee marks, or mineral deposits from water. The tricky part is that the opening is usually too narrow for our hands to reach inside. So no matter how hard we try, that cloudy film just won't scrub away. Here's where an old toothbrush comes to the rescue. Take one you've saved, and with a lighter, gently heat the handle until it softens. Then bend it at about a 90-degree angle and hold it in place for half a minute until it cools and hardens. What you've created is a perfectly angled brush that can easily reach those hard-to-clean bottoms. The bristles are soft enough to avoid scratching, but firm enough to increase friction, which helps loosen up those stains quickly. Just a few strokes, and the inside of your cup looks almost brand new. I'd love to know, where are you watching from? Share your country or city in the comments. I always enjoy hearing where everyone is tuning in from. You can set aside that old toothbrush and use it only for cleaning cups, thermos bottles, or baby bottles. This way, you're making good use of something old, while still keeping things safe and hygienic for the whole family. It's a simple little trick, but it makes such a difference. Instead of struggling with bottle brushes or tossing out cups that look too stained, you can restore them in minutes with nothing more than an old toothbrush and a bit of creativity. Tip 2. Cleaning window tracks and door frames. If you've ever opened your windows or looked down at the bottom of a sliding door, you've probably noticed how much dirt and dust build up in those little tracks. Over time, grime, hair, and even tiny bits of debris collect there, making the tracks look dark and messy. The problem is, those spaces are so narrow that most cleaning tools can't reach inside, and wiping with a cloth just doesn't do the job. Here's a simple way to turn an old toothbrush into the perfect cleaning tool for those spots. First, take a used toothbrush and cut off the head. Then gently heat the end of the handle until the plastic begins to soften. While it's still hot, press the handle into the back of the toothbrush head so they fit together like one piece. Let it sit for about a minute to cool and harden, and just like that, you've created a custom little brush that slides right into window tracks and door frames. The bristles are small and flexible enough to reach deep into corners, yet sturdy enough to loosen stubborn dirt. A few quick strokes, and you'll see the dust and buildup lift right out. It works wonderfully, not only on window tracks, but also on thresholds, sliding door frames, and even the narrow grooves around windowsills. This tiny DIY brush makes a big difference. Instead of ignoring those dirty corners or struggling with tools that don't fit, you can clean them up in minutes with something you already have at home. Tip 3. Make a hanging hook. A fun and practical way to repurpose an old toothbrush is by turning it into a handy little hook. The process is simple, and you can easily do it at home. First, use a utility knife to cut off the brush head, leaving only the plastic handle. Next, take a lighter and heat one end of the handle until the plastic softens, then quickly bend it outward and let it cool for a few minutes. Do the same with the opposite end of the handle. Heat it, bend it in the opposite direction, and allow it to cool. Once both ends are bent, the toothbrush handle will take on the shape of an S. Hold it steady until the plastic hardens completely, and you're done. Now you've got a small, lightweight hook that's surprisingly useful. To make it look more attractive and cover up any black marks from the heating process, you can decorate it with spray paint or wrap it in ribbon. The result is a colorful, cheerful hook that adds a touch of charm to your home. You can use these hooks to hang clothes on a drying rack so they don't blow away in the wind. They're also great for hanging towels, gloves, or kitchen utensils inside a cabinet, keeping everything neat and easy to reach. The best part is, this little project costs nothing, gives old items new life, and creates something genuinely useful for everyday living. Tip 4. Cleaning hard-to-reach spots in the toilet. Most people scrub only the visible parts of the bowl, and while that looks fine on the surface, there's an area that often gets ignored: the narrow space right under the rim and around the drain hole. Over time, this hidden spot builds up yellow stains, lime scale, and even bacteria, and once that happens, the toilet never really feels fresh, no matter how much you scrub. An old toothbrush can solve this problem perfectly with just a little adjustment. Take the toothbrush and use a lighter to gently heat the handle, about 2 centimeters from the head. When the plastic softens, bend it into an L shape or even a slight hook and hold it there until it cools and hardens. What you've created is a small cleaning tool designed to reach exactly where a regular toilet brush can't go. Now, when you clean the toilet, you can slide this bent toothbrush into those hidden grooves under the rim and around the outlet hole. The bristles are small and flexible, so they reach into tight spaces and scrub away the grime that larger brushes always miss. After a quick rinse, you can toss the toothbrush out if it gets too dirty. Since it was old anyway, nothing is wasted. It's such a simple trick, but it really makes a difference. With this little tool, you can keep your toilet looking and smelling cleaner, giving your bathroom a fresher feel. Overall. Tip 5. Cracking sunflower seeds easily. This is the special tip that not everyone knows. Sunflower seeds are such a tasty little snack. Many of us enjoy eating them while chatting with friends or relaxing in the evening. The only downside is that cracking the shells by hand can get tiring. If you eat a lot of them, your fingers may start to hurt, and for older folks with weaker teeth, it can be even more uncomfortable. Here's where two old toothbrushes can come in handy. Start by removing the bristles from each toothbrush handle. You can use tweezers or pliers to pull them out, which makes the job quicker and easier. Once both heads are clean, place them together back to back and secure them with a rubber band. Next, fold up a small piece of tissue or paper towel, make it slightly thick, and insert it between the two brush heads. This gives you a little cushion and grip. Now you have a simple tool for cracking sunflower seeds. Just place a seed between the two brush heads and give it a light squeeze. The shell will split open, and the seed inside can be removed easily. Try it a few times and you'll find the motion becomes very quick and smooth. It's a small trick, but it makes eating sunflower seeds so much easier. No more sore fingers or struggling with tough shells. Whether you're enjoying them alone or sharing with family and friends, this little toothbrush tool adds comfort and fun to the moment. Tip 6. Cleaning the computer keyboard. Finally, here's a particularly useful tip if you spend time on your computer every day. Keyboards collect an incredible amount of dust, crumbs, and even bacteria. Just think about it. We touch those keys for hours at a time, and all those tiny gaps between them are the perfect hiding spots for dirt. Over time, the keys start to turn yellow, the gaps get clogged, and the keyboard begins to look and feel less than clean. The solution is very simple. Use an old toothbrush to gently brush between the keys. The small flexible bristles are just the right size to slip into those narrow spaces. All you need to do is brush lightly back and forth, letting the bristles loosen the dust and push out the debris stuck inside. Work both horizontally and vertically across the rows of keys, and you'll be amazed at how much dirt gets lifted out. In just a few minutes, your keyboard will look fresher, feel smoother, and be safer to use. With nothing more than an old toothbrush, you can keep your keyboard clean, extend its life, and make your workspace a little more comfortable and inviting. As you can see, even something as small as an old toothbrush can make life so much easier when we give it a second chance. It's a simple reminder that sometimes the tools we need are already right at home. We just need to look at them differently. Try one or two of these tips the next time you're cleaning and see how much time and effort you save. Take good care of yourself and your home. And remember, it's the little habits that make the biggest difference. If you have other clever tips, please share them in the comments. I'd love to learn from you too. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss more fun and useful videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.